Radio Network. Radio Free Larry presiding.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Radio Free Larry.
Now, there's a possibility that they didn't do that, but I believe they did. Because it's this simple. She did it to me before, and I ignored her. And what's happening is they sit up there and they will people to be shoplifters. I've read it while I was in there, and she knows I know what they do. They're devils. So eventually they treat you like a shoplifter. They've done it every place I've ever been in a Walmart. I'm one of their best customers. What are you talking about? I mean, that's real. But they're disgusting filth. Because I don't give them a car for half price, like the crooked cops and operators. I don't make sure the woman they want to have sex with is isolated and forced to date that person and have sex with them. Because I'm not that person. Because that's the dirty cop and the dirty PI and their dirty boss. So again, that's what they're doing. It seems like nothing to all of you, but a lot of times there's surreptitious drugging involved. In the United States today, they are surreptitiously drugging U.S. citizens as much as they can, as much as they will be allowed to do it. Well, they have to make sure that they're not going to get caught doing it. So the coroner has to be in, that type of thing. So I would look at your coroner here in Overland Park if you're not all gone and he or she's not already gone, to make sure they're not operating the coroner into corruption. Thank you, Larry. No, that's how they created the main shooter. They did the same shit back in the 90s and then caused 9/11. Same thing just happened in Israel. It got bigger than they expected. They create terrorists, they create mass shooters, but they always say, we got the investigation under control. Years ago, they would tell you when they operated somebody, and I started explaining how that works. Like that isn't why they're doing it. They're full of shit. Not because I'm speaking out. I'm speaking out so they point to that and say that's what it is. They'll say I went to the store too many times this week. In fact, we don't want you to come out of your house for a week. F them and F their families. And F their organizations. Yeah, sealed. I said nothing for decades. I've already stopped tons of operations. I've already turned tons of officers and private sector people away from it by what I say. Whether they hear me in their mind or they hear me physically. Now, she and he most likely made up an excuse to do that to me. With some dirty cop who's getting paid by Israel. Right? They aren't even Israel. I don't even want to call them Israel. The devils that took over Israel. So what they're doing right now is they're driving around the United States with a list of people. Oh, the worst of the worst, our combat veterans, our former law enforcement, our disabled people. The worst of the worst. And they're the creme de la creme and the best of the best. Those people aren't worthy to wipe my defecation off of the curb. no matter what you do to spoil my life and destroy the world around me, who I am and what I'm worth will always exist. Long past this planet, while you're all in hell, licking defecation off the curb in hell, I will always be who I was, am, and will be forevermore. That's part of the psychology. Use some worthless, do nothing, criminal minded asshole employees to jump up over top of you and demean you and degrade you, give you dirty looks, stare at your food. So, again, what happened in Israel is a construct. Spies, military, settlers, some of the settlers are Mossad. Mossad was killed. That's why they're angry. Those settlers, some of them were Mossad. And they're there to radicalize the Palestinian. Those are psychological operations that destroy a person's mind. They're not a test. They're not a control mechanism. And they're doing it here in the United States at Walmart, and then the person turns into a mass shooter. That's why mass shooters started running towards Walmart. That's where they radicalized them. They're sickos. And of course, they keep us poor so we can't shop anywhere else. Oh, I take it back. They were doing that at, what's that store? What's that worthless piece of shit? Wallet Chopper? Price Chopper my ass. You want to sit in your little groups and fuck me off? That's what this is called when they do that. They're fucking you off. So now I fuck you off, fuck your families off, fuck your organizations off, fuck your world off. You don't like the way I speak? Then don't be a fucking criminal, you fucking scumbag piece of shit. This is the way I speak to real fucking criminals. This is the way I speak to real fucking criminals. Not the people you possess, you fuckheads. You know what a fuckhead is. This is the way I speak to devils and fucking criminals. The majority of people that are locked up were caused to be criminals by pieces of fucking filth like all of you. Destroying them when they were children. Pieces of garbage. You're here to save the children. You're like, oh no, we're trying to save the children. You're mistaken, Mr. Moore. They're here to save their children. Their little piece of the pie. By the time God's done, there'll be no piece of the pie's planet to save. None. Zero. Keep your money. Keep your cars. Keep your houses. God will burn them in a nuclear war. Well, stay peaceful. Don't act out physically. Give it all to God.